what my opponent said before, that diseases are not brought by, you don't have to be an illegal immigrant to bring diseases, which is true, but statistically, I mean, even when people from American citizens, when they have the travel, and if anyone has ever traveled extensively to a foreign country, you are required to have a lot of vaccines that to prevent you from getting sick and bringing diseases back to this country. Whereas people who are immigrants just coming to the country and they're not checked, as my partner said before, EWI, that is entry without an inspection, and that can be really potentially dangerous because that could spread outbreaks. Also, my opponent mentioned that immigrants are not affecting employment rates, but they really are, because Americans they can't get jobs with, there's a really low surplus of jobs right now. And that by having 11.1 million people each year coming to the country, it's definitely going to create a negative impact upon people who really want to get jobs. Also, she mentioned that the border is already regulated really well, but it's really not. It's regulated, but to a point where there's being tunnels. A lot of tunnels are being built, and so, for example, a while back, NPR described. One agent who patrolled the border, who asked to remain anonymous, told Fox News the following: "To say that this area is out of control is an understatement. Is out of control is an understatement. A different federal agent put this in a way and emailed to Fox News. Every night we're getting beaten like a piñata at a birthday party by drug alien smugglers." So there's a lot of drug smuggling that's happening because of these cartels. Federal border officials say that Mexican drug cartels have not only set up shop on U.S. soil, but they're actually maintaining lookout bases in strategic locations, in the hills of southern Arizona especially. If you go to Arizona today, there are actually signs that have been put up by the federal government warning American citizens not to venture into certain wilderness routes that are used by the Mexican drug cartels to bring in drugs. The drug war being waged on both sides of the border is so violent that it is almost unimaginable. For example, one prominent Mexican assassin known as the Soup Maker has confessed that he made approximately 300 bodies disappear by dissolving them in acid baths. But right now, there is essentially nothing that is preventing the next Soup Maker from crossing the U.S. border and moving into your neighborhood. Arizona police are being openly warned by the Mexican drug cartels that if they try to interview with the drug traffic in their area, that they will be taken out by drug cartel snipers. And this is by them watching around the Arizona hills. They can just easily take out any of the police enforcement around the area. And also, she mentioned that a lot of people come here to work, but the deportation costs are outweighing that because each year it costs the state billions of dollars to incarcerate illegal immigrants and criminals that should have never been allowed into the country in the first place. It is estimated that legal aliens make up approximately 30% of the population in federal, state, and local prisons. That the total cost of incarcerating them is more than $1.6 billion annually. Also, the drug cartels and the gangs always seem to be a couple steps ahead of the agents along the border. As I was saying before, approximately 75 tunnels along the U.S. border with Mexico have been discovered by law enforcement authorities in the last 4 years alone. And there's a probability of so many more tunnels to be found, but they're being used to smuggle drugs into the country. So I hope that you'll be able to see that with all these facts I've given you about the negative effects on immigrants coming to this country just outweighs the positive effects.